Hi, fourth graders. We are in week number 25 of remote learning, and we are going to be getting a new module. We're going to start module 9, lesson 1, and it's all about the area of rectangles. So we're going to be, the next 4 lessons, be focusing on rectangles and their area. So we'll do 2 lessons this week, 2 next week, and then we'll start another module 10 after that. All right, so get your packet out. That's module 9, lesson 1. It starts on page 219, and follow along. So we're going to be applying the area formula to rectangles. So you'll be able to find the area of a rectangle by using the formula for area. And if we remember what the formula for area is, it's when we have our length multiplied by our width. So it's just like when we were doing our area model for multiplication. That's what it stems from. It stems from finding the area of a rectangle. It just makes it easier when we use the area model when we multiply sometimes. And then the reason why we use it is because length times width of a rectangle gives us the area. The area is everything on the inside of a rectangle. Okay? It's what covers the inside. So making banners is a very old craft. Banners are usually made of cloth and can have a symbol, logo, slogan, or any other message. How can you find the area of each banner? So first, we have this banner right here, and it's 5 feet by 8 feet. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go down 5 of these squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is our 5 feet. And then we're going across 8 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? And remember, opposite sides are the same length when we talk about area. So if we have our first banner that's 5 feet by 8 feet, what we can do is we can count all the little squares that make up the inside of this rectangle, or we could multiply 8 times 5, our length times our width, and that equals 40. And whenever we talk about area, we always include in the word square in front of our unit that we are measuring by. So when we talk about area, this is going to be 40 square feet because each one of these is 1 square foot, right? It's 1 foot by 1 foot. So we have 40 of those that cover the whole inside of this rectangle. So 40 square feet. 8 feet by 4 feet is 40 square feet. Our next banner is 4 feet by 10 feet. So again, I'm going to come down 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 feet on this side and then 10 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then opposite sides of our rectangle are the same length. So then we have 10 feet. And if I were to count each one of these, right, I would count 10, 20, 30, 40. Or length times width is 4 times 10, which equals 40. Again, remember, square feet. So these 2 banners are the same area. They just have different lengths and widths, but they can still have the same area. Okay? So let's go to the next page. Sports fans use banners to show support. How can you find the area of the banner? So first of all, what does it mean to find the area of a flat surface? Well, it means that we're counting all of the squares inside of our rectangle. We're counting all the squares inside of our flat surface. That's what it means to find the area of a flat surface. We're counting the unit squares, or it's everything that is inside the rectangle. Okay? So square units inside rectangle or shape. We just use rectangles because it just is easier to begin the area of a shape. So to find the area, we're thinking about the measure of the sides of the rectangle. So how many unit squares make up the length and the width of the rectangle? Well, our length is 7 units. Oops, might help if I spell that right. Sorry about that. Length equals 7, and they're using units as their measurement. And then our width is 4. Whoops. Oh my goodness. Width equals 4 units. So the length is 7, the width is 4. So if we were to count the number of unit squares inside to find the area, we would have 28 unit squares inside the area. So the relationship between the length and the width is that we can multiply length times width to find the area, right? Because 4 times 7 equals 28. If I were to count all these squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. It's like when you were very first learning multiplication and you used your arrays. So how can you describe a mathematical rule or formula that you would use to find the area A of the rectangle? Write the formula. Represent the length with an L and the width with a W. So length times width, right? So we're going to say that A, which is your area, equals your length, which is your W, times your width. I make my L like this because if I make an L like this, it almost looks like a 1, right? If I do length times width, that looks like 1 times W. That's the reason why I make it a cursive L, a cursive lowercase l, so that way it's not confused with what might look like a number 1. I know theirs looks like a number 1, but they are on a slant, and it's harder to do it that way. So how can you use the area formula to find the area of the rectangle? So area equals length times width. Our length is 7, and our width is 4. Length is 7, width is 4. 7 times 4 is 28. So the rectangle has an area of 28 square units, or units squared. Either square units or units squared. So you can also write the formula for the area A of a rectangle as area equals base times height. So you can think of the base of a rectangle as the measure of any of the sides, and the height is the one perpendicular to the base. So sometimes people will say area equals base times height or length times width. Okay? If you're thinking about base times height, here's your base, right? And there's your height. So either way, it works, whether you use length times width or base times height. It means the same thing. They're just using 2 different words, but they mean the same thing. All right, so now we're going to go to the next page, and we're going to step it out. And the Hawks fans are making a giant banner for a competition. The banner has the dimensions shown. What is the area of the banner? Well, first of all, we need to figure out what is our formula. Remember, our formula is area equals length times width. So the measure of the length is 5 meters. The measure of the width is 7 meters. 5 times 7 equals 35. So the area of the banner is 35 square meters. So we're just thinking length times width. Multiply your sides, your 2 sides. So let's do a little more practicing. Mr. Nielsen is going to buy sod for a portion of his yard, but first he must know the area of the surface that he wants to cover. What is the area? So we can see here's his yard, and remember A equals L times W, area equals length times width, so 25 times 18. So 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication. You choose. Do you want to do the area model? Do you want to do standard algorithm? Do you want to do partial products? Did you feel the most comfortable multiplying your numbers? I'm going to, for this one, do standard algorithm. 25 times 18. 5 times 8 is 40. Regroup my 4. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 4 is 20. Remember a 0 in the ones place, and now we're moving to the tens place. 5 times 1 is 5. 2 times 1 is 2. Add them together, and we get 450, and their feet is our unit, so square feet. And you can shorten the label to SQ and FT, or square feet. Find the area. So we have a rectangle here that is 9 meters by 6 meters. So 9 times 6, length times width, equals 9 times 6 equals 54. 54 square M, which is meters. Number 3. We have a square this time. Squares are rectangles. Remember, they just have all the same length sides. So 10 times 10. 10 times 10 equals 100 square feet. All right, so we're moving to the on your own section. Remember, you can do this independently and then come back and check your answers, or you can stay right with me and do the work with me. So Jason has a sticker on a folder. What is the area of his sticker? So remember, area is length times width. So our length is 7, our width is 3. 7 times 3 equals 21 square. And these are centimeters. Make sure you have the right unit. Lisa is setting square tiles on the backsplash. What is the area of each tile? Now look, this is a square tile. What do we know about squares? All the sides are the same length. So if the width is 5, then the length must be 5. So it would be 5 inches by 5 inches. Okay? So 5 times 5 equals 25 square inches. All right. Mr. Wells knows that the area of the square floor in a tool shed is 36 square feet. What is the length of one of the sides? How do you know? Well, let's see. What information did they give us? They said the type of shape is a square. So we know that all the sides are the same length. And the area is all in here is 36 square feet. So if I know the area is 36 and it's a square, I have to think what two numbers that are the same multiplied together equal 36. Because look it up here, we did a square, right? And they were the same number. 5 times 5 equals 25. What times what? It'd have to be the same number because it's a square. What times what equals 36? Well, that would be 6 feet. Would be one side, because length times width would equal 36 square feet. And I know it's a square, so I know that it would be 6 times 6. So the answer, the length of one of the sides is 6 feet. And our last three. find the area. 14 centimeters, 6 centimeters. So 14 times 6. Again, you could do the area model, or you could do the standard algorithm, or the partial quotients. 4 times 6 is 24. 1 times 6 is 6, plus 2 is 8. So we have 84 square centimeters. 3 by 11, or 11 is your length, 3 is your width. So 11 times 3 is, should be able to do that one right in our head, square inches. And then this is a square. So if this side is 8, that means this side is 8, and this side is 8, and this side is 8, right? So that means we have 8 centimeters over here. 8 times 8 is 64. So 64 square centimeters. So remember, area is length times width. And you're going to be completing some problems for your, for your independent work. So you're going to do 9.1 independently. When you're finished, either take a picture of the front and back and send it to me, or drop it off to me at school. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.